And we are live.
Good morning, Ben. How are
Good
you?
morning. Good morning. Thanks for joining me, man.
Of course, my pleasure.
Yeah, I know this is really early for you. You are on the East Coast and I'm on the West
West
Coast.
Coast.
Or, I'm sorry, you're on the
Yeah,
West Coast. I'm on the East Coast.
vice
So
versa.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I should be the one needing the coffee apparently.
No.
Thanks for joining me. The reason, this is Milko from eTech Rentals, and I got introduced to him several months ago when the pandemic started and I started needing hotspots. So I found this to be a great service, and I wanted to kind of bring you on to, kind of talk about the business. So first
Thank
off,
you. Yeah.
so tell me a little bit, what is your role?
My role as GM, General Manager of I'm basically operate the day-to-day, manage the sales team, manage the operations team. We are a small outfit, so it's easier for me to do both. But for the most part, I interact a lot of times with customers. I make sure that we deploy all of our services in a timely fashion, obviously, and we execute well. So my day-to-day is really involved in both areas of sales as well as operations.
Well, excellent. Well, then tell me a little about the business itself, because
Sure.
obviously I'm bringing you on as because I've used you, but I only know really the one piece of your service. So kind of tell me a little bit more about what you guys offer.
Absolutely. eTech Rentals, actually, we started about 3.5 years ago. We are based here in Los Angeles, and we focused predominantly bringing technology on a short-term basis, hence rentals, to various types of industries, predominantly around the events industry, as well as the entertainment and experiential marketing industries. We bring technology rentals like computers, Mac and PC, printers, large screen displays of 4K in nature. We also deal with a lot of tablets, like iPads, for instance, mobile devices, phones, internet solutions, event Wi-Fi, enterprise solutions as well. So in the case of you, Ben, you rented hotspots from us, but we also have the ability of broadcasting it at a much larger scale when it comes to Wi-Fi, whereas you may need it for a few hundred, a few thousand, 10,000, and so forth. We provide those types of services as well. But clearly when the pandemic hit us all equally, we all had to make slight adjustments. And luckily for us, we are in the technology business, and technology is being leveraged every day in this space. And so we decided to push more mobile kits, mobile devices, because something that we can ship and something that we knew there was a huge demand and need for. So that's really helped us out, as well as helping a lot of our customers out during this time.
When I happened to be on the website, that really caught my eye because of the kit. So tell me a little bit more. You're kind of coining it as the Rent the iPhone Filmmaker Kit, which is
Absolutely
great, because I know there's a lot of folks out there who don't know how to jump into this thing, and maybe they're worried about technology. And they're like, do I buy this piece? Do I buy this piece? Do I buy this piece? And do I do all this stuff together? And you're just saying, look, I got you.
Exactly.
So tell me about this filmmaking kit.
Sure. So we like the custom approach, and we don't want to force one kit to the masses. Like, here's a laptop, here's a webcam, and here's one type of lighting, and that's it. Take it or leave it kind of scenario. Whereas we prefer, hey, what are you trying to accomplish? Is the talent, is the content trying to creating from a distance? Is it close by? Are you sitting on the desk? Are you standing up? Is it going to be a vertical approach? Is it going to be a horizontal approach? And so what we've done is we've outfitted our inventory with like 6 different tripods, from very short to just regular short, to mid-size to very tall. We have different lighting, close-up lighting versus a little bit distance for the lighting, various tripods for the lighting as well. Again, for a desktop environment, you may want all-in-one compact type of setup. For phones, we have the 11s, the 11 Pro Max, the 12, the 12 Pro Max. And when newer phones come out, we will obviously make that investment as well. As far as for microphones, we have lavalier, where we can easily attach a wired lav. We could do wireless lav, as well as a directional boom mic. So if you don't want any kind of cables to show up, or if you don't want the lav to show up, then we have the ability to also have directional boom mics. AirPods, sometimes they want that cool effect. You have an AirPod, so they want something in the ear. we have those available as well. So the point is, you can pick and choose your kit, and after you do, you can standardize it for all your talents, so that you know the type of kit that they'll be receiving, and then you can create a standard instructions sheet, if you will, so that everyone has it. They can follow along. So, this is easy to set up. So.
Yeah, I know one of the guys I bring on, and we talk with a lot, is Andy Cooley, who does this for some of his clients. He actually sends out kits, and I know it was a big outlay of money when they did this, and it was like they were sending these kits all over the place. I don't know if the business got the ROI of it.
Mm.
So you had mentioned to me kind of off camera about capital expenses and why rent versus own, honestly, in this case,
Yeah, and I'm always honest with people who ask me, and I don't get it that often, but I do get it. So why should I rent versus buy if I need it 2 or 3 times? And typically the general rule I tell people, look, if you're going to be needing less than 10 in quantity, if you're going to be using it 3, 4, 5 times a year, go ahead and purchase it. I'm not going to try to convince you otherwise, quite frankly. The reality is there are a lot of companies, a lot of needs where it far exceeds 10. You can go to 15, 50, 100 kits. Let's just say you do have the money, the capital expenditure to make that investment. Not that, you got to really ask why should you get into that business. But let's just say you do. Then you got the logistics nightmare of it all.
That's
because
true.
Clearly, if you have 50 kits, you need to ship them. You need to get them to talents. And in today's day and age, they're not all in one location. Clearly, you have 50 kits for a reason. So you're having to ship and manage that. Is it going to arrive on time? You got to track it. And then our team does that for you. We have a grid where we're constantly looking at all of our shipments. And if something is running behind, our logistics team flags it, and they know, hey, should we, instead of shipping it 3 days, we'll ship it overnight because the 3-day one's not making it on time. So we got to get one out there fast enough. And so, and then the return shipment's the same thing. You got to flag and track that. And then FedEx and UPS loses a kit, and now you got to deal with that. So, there's a variety of reasons why you should own, and there's a variety of reasons why you shouldn't. And quite frankly, I can have an honest conversation. Anyone wants to contact me and say, okay, here's my scenario. What do you think? And I'm going to be very honest with you, whether you should own it or you should rent it.
You also mentioned, because we've had conversations before when you and I first met about just like updates, software updates, all that kind of stuff. Like if you don't have a team because again, you'd, like, to your point, you'd have to have it all in one location, and those people you'd have to keep updated and everything else. Like, tell them about what you kind of mentioned to me about software updates and testing the kits before they even go out. All that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. Anything electronic, it's a matter of time that it will fail on you. It will have an error or an issue, or there is, to your point, an update. And then there's an incompatibility issue with something because of an update. These things happen, unfortunately. And QC is a very key part of our business. We have to make sure the quality control of testing all the products. And a lot of these items are easily purchased on Amazon. But part of the challenge that I've noticed too is when you buy a lot of these third-party products that are not name brand. Apple's a name brand, Samsung's a name brand. You can rely on those products. But when you buy something from Amazon you've never heard of, is it going to work with the device, the Samsung or Apple device? And B, is it going to work with the app that you're using, like OR Capture, for instance, or Filmmaker Pro? And so one of the advantages that we have is we've already gone through that. We've purchased 100 mics, we've purchased 100 phones, and we've made sure we've tested them in different scenarios. I
got a box full of stuff that I don't use that I bought for exactly that reason, right? I bought it, thought it would be compatible, and then just like now it just sits on a shelf because it didn't quite work the way I wanted it to work, and I didn't quite test it early enough on, and now sometimes I'm scrambling to find that extra piece of equipment to make it work.
The one adapter, that one cable.
Yeah, exactly. So I just didn't have it. So it's nice to know that kind of comes with it.
We dislike making a commitment on the rental unless we know it's going to work. And so sometimes I'll hem and haw, or our team will hem and haw. Well, I'm not sure. Let's get back to the client in a minute. We just got to make sure we test it on our end to confirm that it's going to work. Yeah. The last thing you want is to, for us to obviously have a failed rental, but more importantly is for our clients to fail during a live event or during just a recording or content creation. That's not what we want, clearly. So we make sure on our end that everything is in working order and is compatible.
That's great. I mean, that's honestly, it's such a feel of, security that happens through events. Here you are, you're putting your first, best foot forward in front of a client. And, if you can't represent well, it's just nice having that one-off, having everyone do QC for you and testing the equipment and all that kind of stuff. I just have, that safety is a big, big asset for me, at least.
Yeah. And there have been many times, I'll be quite honest, in technology, it's really interesting. The rental industry, or would be AV IT rental industry that I'm in, don't think that we're always ahead of the curve with regards to knowing that everything's going to work. We're always testing and we're always making sure to see what things are compatible. I've gotten called when I first heard of OR capture. Of course, obviously, I didn't know anything about it before. The mobile kits came out. I had no clue. We had no idea. And the client just asked me, goes, "Can you install this app?" I'm like, "Yeah, I've never heard of that app. Sure, we can install it if it's on the App Store. We'll install it. No problem. You got it." So, but I didn't know anything about it. And I was very honest with the client. Goes, "Do you mind us doing a test session? Because I don't know anything about this app. And I'd really like to learn more. And I want to be better prepared. Plus, I also want to make sure it works for you because clearly we're remote to you." And so it helped the client feel comfortable with us. It helped us feel comfortable with the technology. And ever since then, when someone asks about the app, which is, by the way, pre-installed on all of our iPhones and iPads, we can now either tell them that rest assured all of our products work with OR Capture or Filmmaker Pro or other apps. And so we feel a lot more confident.
That's great. So obviously one of the things I like is now the scalability, right? Because I get opportunities to maybe come my way that I didn't have before because, knowing that I can go and say, okay, I can do this. I can call you up and get 3 kits sent to me and, I know I'll be ready for events.
Yep.
But originally I came to you for Hotspot. So tell me a little bit about what you offer and I'll explain kind of my side of why I think it's amazing.
Absolutely. So when it comes to internet in general, we go from like entry level, I would say like the first level of internet, which is really just hotspots, and then we kind of build up from there with having like a broadband type of router, which does load balancing, and then of course we do enterprise solutions with either specialized ISPs and whatnots. But specifically talking about the hotspots, we have 3 main carriers that we do rent: AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon. Those are our 3 main carriers. Our hotspots right now, we have both the 4G as well as the 5G. Make no mistake, 5G is still not everywhere. But wherever it is available, our hotspots, the ones that are 5G compatible, will then of course connect to it. Our T-Mobile right now is our number 1 product to rent because it does come with unlimited data, so you can literally use it, which just gives that reassurance, especially when you need to stream, and it's going to be over the course of 3 days, and each day is going to be about 8 hours, and so you just can't you really can't chance it with having a limited package. So having a limited package gives that rest assurance that if I'm not going to go over and I won't get throttled, so therefore I'm going to be fine with my my live stream.
Yeah, so for me, it was a location connectivity. So I had come to you because I knew I wanted to do a hotspot as well as my cell connection, and the connectivity in the area because it was T-Mobile was just happened to be almost obsolete. So I knew it was like, hey, you got Verizon for me, you got AT&T, and and you actually, what was great on your end, you sent me basically all the hotspots. And you're like, hey,
all of them.
you go test it, and then you tell me which one you want me to load. So I thought that was amazing. Like you were like, hey, look, if you need it, I'm going to put this amount on your hotspot so you can have for the event or the month, even though or wherever it was. It was really great.
And so a lot of times I ask that question. So what seems to be the strongest in your area? Is it going to be T-Mobile, AT&T, right? So then I can match it up with the client, of course. Sometimes it's a new destination, it's a new location, so you don't really know or it's the first time going there.
Yeah.
So, hey,
Yeah.
I'm from LA. I'm going to fly into Memphis. I don't know what's wrong in Memphis. And so, and those maps don't always tell you speeds. Those maps are just going to tell you if it's good strength, you know, great strength, or no strength.
Yeah.
You take a gamble at what your speeds are going to be.
Yeah. I was like online trying to find the maps and stuff, and
No, not gonna happen.
Yeah.
So what I've done for you is what I do on occasion when I hear this story goes, I'm not sure. Look, take 2 or take 3. I'm going to activate them on a temporary when you get on site, see what's best for you, and what ends up working best, I'll activate fully for you, so that that's what you'll end up paying for, not the other. We try to be very accommodating. We try to be very custom approach. So yeah, I'm glad it worked out for you, and yeah, it's worked out for a lot of our clients too that way.
And even that case too, because I started going from just me to me and a couple guys doing, you know, because I'm able to book more than just me in a day, and so same example, like I'm personally going to have at least one hotspot plus my cell phone, but then to augment 2, 3, 4 more for all my guys to go out for on occasion, because I don't have them working every weekend. I don't have working else. It's just nice to have that extra. Go, look, okay, here we go. Load this one. You know, we're going to send this out with you, and just be able to feel like that's available. And I got to be honest, your customer service and your response time is always so fast. It's just, you know,
thank you for saying that. I appreciate that.
Helping me get when I need to get it. And you're like, look, I know this is my business, right? My business. I need to be in touch with all my customers. So I do appreciate that.
No, you're absolutely welcome, and thank you for saying that. It's very kind of you, Ben. We are more than just technology. We're in a service business.
Yeah,
we service our clients. We have to make sure that they're up and running with technology. Anyone can own an iPhone. Anyone can own a hotspot. Anyone can own anything's here. This is not proprietary technology I have in my warehouse.
True, yeah.
I wish that'd be nice. We wouldn't be having this conversation, Ben, if that was the case. But the reality is, anyone can buy any of this.
Yeah.
It's really the kind of service, the attention. It's always being ready. My team is constantly ready. If we have a weekend call, or if we at the last minute there's a service call on the weekend, we pick up the phone. We talk to you. We'll do the best we can to make sure that you're up and running. We're not perfect by no stretch of the imagination, but we definitely give it 110% to all of our customers, no matter what the size is. 1 hotspot or 100 hotspots, 1 kit or 100 kits. We get it.
What's kind of the next level up for a guy like me? I'm doing a little bit of streaming, you know, for mostly just single events kind of stuff. But like, what's the next up for, say, conferences and things like that? Because I'm already getting those inquiries. I personally don't know how to handle it. I got some guys now I've partnered with to get to that. So for people like me who are getting these opportunities or leads, what can I do next? What's the next level up of connectivity or whatever it might be?
No, so events has been evolving, and obviously we've talked and we've heard about hybrids. We believe, a lot of us in the industry believe hybrids are going to be here for a little while. Some believe it's going to be permanent. Others believe it's just going to be a transitional thing till we get back to the real normal, or the 2019 days. I think the next stage is having that flexibility in the events world, having the ability to say your event's live or your event's a hybrid. If it's hybrid, that means more technology. That means more logistics. That means more coordination. And so having vendors, having partners around you who can support those initiatives, who can make sure they can help you not only at a local level, but also logistics and scalability. So where if you have a keynote speaker and then 20 more guest panel individuals, that you have the ability on a dime to get them the same type of equipment, technology to create continuity across the board for your event.
That's true. I didn't think about that.
Because the reality is, if you rely on the talent's technology, it's going to be different, and it's not going to give that polished, professional, across the board look. And so another reason why, again, don't have to rent from a rental company. You can own 20 kits if you want, but the point is getting the 20 of the same quality, the key. The days of, meaning last year, 2020, the days of this low lighting, bad audio, that's behind us. Those expectations, that's okay, because that was the last year's type of hybrid event or Zoom call. Now it's no, we got to step it up. And so being able to partner with companies that can support those initiatives and quality control is going to be very key.
Yeah, it was nice because I noticed even like lighting kits, things like that come as far as some of these filmmaker kits that you're offering. It's like obviously cameras, the actual iPhone kind of stuff, the stands, the lighting, the audio, all together to kind of make that full. Because you said the expectations are continuity is a big piece of that. So that's exciting to hear.
Yeah, absolutely.
So tell me a little about your process. If someone tomorrow wants to come and kind of connect with you, how do they go about that's the first, what's the first step connecting with you?
Sure. So obviously going to our website is one way. You can fill out the form there. There are forms on our website.
We'll showcase that.
Sure, no problem.
There you go.
Yeah, you could easily go if you want. You can scroll down. You can pick, for instance, right there. You could click on iPhone rentals if you want.
Rentals, that kind of stuff. Okay.
Yeah, and then when you go to the iPhone rental page, there's always a form that you could fill out to fill. So just click on any of those items, any of those boxes if you want. Yeah.
Phone rentals.
And if you scroll down, you'll see that there's an order form right there. So there's put your name, your email address, phone number, and tell us a little bit about what you're trying to accomplish.
Okay.
And you see there's obviously different options for phones.
Yeah, plenty of stuff.
And then, and of course, we also have kits. And those are some of the customers that we've worked with in the past and still do, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, some good name dropping right there. Look at that.
Absolutely. So once they fill out the form, what ends up happening is one of us will reach out. Typically, it's going to be within, depending upon the time, but it's typically within 20, 30 minutes, if not sooner. And we'll reply back with just some basic questions. Because we understand the order form is really just meant for you to reach out to us. We're not going to get everything from you to give you an immediate quote. So it could be just I need one phone, or it could be I need a kit. How much is a kit? And that's when we ask the questions. What is it you're trying to accomplish?
That's nice.
Who are you trying to reach out to? What type of content is this? We had a client recently. Most of our phones get used in the horizontal and not necessarily on the vertical. And so like a TikTok, for instance, right? TikTok.
Yeah.
Right. And so one of our production companies said, we have a big client, and it's for TikTok, and we can't use the horizontal. It has to be the vertical. So we had to make sure that all of the kits had a holder that can easily move from horizontal to vertical. So, which most of them don't, quite frankly.
But you can't pick that a la carte out of a,
exactly.
That
so
makes
asking
sense.
the questions is very important as part of the process. And then once we've established that, what I typically do is, or the team, what we do is we send a grid price. Okay. And why we do that, we don't give a formal price for two reasons. And I'm going to be very frank with you. A lot of times you're just researching it. So to give a formal quote, to put you into my database, to send you the quote, let's be honest, Ben, it's a lot of time.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I want to know they're serious. But then on the flip side, I also want to make sure that I give you options. Yeah. So you're going to pick and choose. I want this phone. I want that mic. Of 4 options, I want that mic. I want this stand, and I want this lighting. And so I'll give you a grid pricing with like a 1-week price, a 2-week price, because sometimes they'll need a little bit longer. And so they'll tell me, okay, I want this, I want this, I want this. Now I'm ready for a formal quote. I need 5 kits, and here's the 5 location. You got it. So then I'll send you a link to fill out your basic information as a company. We didn't enter into the system. We'll create your formalized quote. And then from there, you sign it. You send it back telling us, yep, all the details is exactly what we discussed. Yeah. And then we'll send you a payment link, which is a secure payment link. We hold no credit card information on our end. We don't. Try hacking us for what? You're not going to get our customers' information. Everything is done on a secure basis. So it's all offline and or off our line, that is, online. And they pay. We get a notification. We ship. And then once we ship, that same day, we'll send you a tracking information for your kit or various kits. Yeah. And then you're off to the races. Then you receive it. This. In the kit, what we also have is instructions. A lot of times, we'll have 2 sorts of instructions. If it is a standard kit that you want to use for all of your talents, so let's just say you have 50 talents. Yep. And it's gonna be the same exact kit. Tripod, lighting, everything. What we'll do is we'll create a custom approach of setting up the equipment physically. So that way they can choose, it'll be printed out, it'll be part of the kit, And when they receive it, say, okay, page 1, check inventory. Page 2, get the tripod. Page, and so on, so on, so on.
Yeah.
The other instructions is a packing list, so that way they know what to return. And a lot of times what we'll do in that packing list is give instructions, like a QR code, so you can wave your phone, your smartphone, whether it be an Android-based or iOS-based, and you can find a local store, like a UPS store, FedEx store, so where you can drop it off. So again, to make it easy,
convenient.
Exactly. And then we'll just say, if it's a Pelican case, we'll make a mention. Please use zip ties, right? And then we'll show an image of, Pelican case. Yeah, we got it.
That's awesome.
And if it's cardboard box, if it's because not everything fits in a Pelican case. If it's a cardboard box, we'll include packing tape, because not everyone. Let me tell you, Ben, in the early stages of shipping kits, I was getting back boxes with colorful tape.
Oh, I can imagine.
Like arts and craft tape.
Yeah,
because people they weren't expected to receive kits, and they weren't expected to ship things. And so what it's taught us is, how can we make this convenient for our clients? And so we try to give them everything to return back: the return label, packing tape, zip ties, a packing list, everything we can do on our end to make it easy for our clients. That's what we try.
I like that. Because I'm doing these in part of as a brand ambassador for Event Live, which is it's a streaming platform. They kind of started out in the wedding business, and then they started doing a whole bunch of other kind of events. It's just kind of a simple solution. I'm thinking we got to partner together to create a wedding package, because besides me, who physically goes and does it for couples, if we had a wedding kit where you loaded the Event Live app to that phone, because it's literally, I'm telling you, it's a one touch, just start and then start streaming. It's that, we use iPhones and a simple audio and maybe a stand if need be. So we might have to partner together and create a kit.
Absolutely, we could create a kit where it includes internet hotspot or not, or it could include us activating the data plan on the phone, which is something we haven't discussed. But we have the ability to do that as well, even remotely. I had a client, as a matter of fact.
Amazing.
Yeah, they rented 10 kits from me and went to 10 different locations. One particular kit landed in a household of about 6, like 4 kids. And 2 spouses. And of course, everyone was online, working, school. It was a nightmare. So everyone was pulling the internet, the home internet, making the streaming very difficult. So the client reached out and says, do we have the ability? I know we shipped it already. Can we activate the data plan on the phone? Yes, we can do it remotely. Absolutely. And so we barcode all of our devices. I know which barcode went to which individual. And I basically contact my carrier and says, I need this one in particular activated for a week. Please activate it. And within 30 minutes, it was activated.
Wow.
And we were able to stream.
That's really neat. That's really neat. Well, it's exciting, man. I just want to thank you for today. It's it's been a pleasure working with you in general, and I'm so happy you agreed to doing this, because
of course, my pleasure.
I wanted to showcase you, but it's also, I wanted to do this because there's a lot of guys like me who are just trying to figure out how to do this, right? They just want to take the next step. They just want don't want to give those leads away when they have opportunities to get the bigger gigs.
Yep.
And I just find the rental might be the way to go, especially when you got the service that you do on the back end. So
excellent.
Yeah, so thanks for getting up early. It's still kind of early for me, even. It's really early for you.
I'm about to go out and have my oatmeal. So
yeah, all right. Well, in this video, because obviously it's going live right now, this will be listed on YouTube. So we'll have in the description, as they say, in the description below, they'll have links to your website, and so people can actually contact you directly to kind of make sure if they're looking for this kind of stuff, and or at least to call you and ask kind of talk through their needs.
Absolutely, yeah. More than happy to assist anyone who has any questions with regards to this space.
All right. Well, thanks a lot for joining me.
Thank you, Ben. I really appreciate it.
You enjoy the rest of your day. And everybody, if you're watching this, stay tuned for other kind of, videos just like this. And hopefully we'll see you next time.
Bye, Ben. Thank you.